Welcome to Reaching Lives and Building the Body of Christ. This is the media outreach ministry of the Greater Universal Baptist Church. And I am the host of today's show. Also, I am the senior pastor at Greater Universal Baptist Church. And as always, we try to provide programming that is informative and inspirational. And we're thankful that you have taken the time to join us today to share in our conversation. And today, like every other day on Reaching Live, we have a topic that I feel that is important for our community to be aware of. And that topic is the church impacting the community. We didn't say black church, but we said the church because we believe that the church should have some role in the impacting of their community. And we at the Greater Universal Baptist Church have taken the initiative. In fact, way back in 2000, we started the Greater Universal Community Development Corporation, and that has been our goal from day one, to impact our Bronx community. But I'm delighted that we, in recent days, we're doing more than ever to reach that goal. And I'm delighted that our special guest is one that is helping me to do that very thing in the Bronx. And that person is the Minister Gary Alexander Byrd, who recently joined us at Greater Universal Baptist Church, but he came with so much experience in community development and impact that I had to get him involved in our Community Development Corporation. And so today, just recently, he became our Vice President at the Greater Universal Community Development Corporation. And he's going to be sharing with us in our time today. Minister Alexander, we welcome you to Reaching Lives and Building the Body of Christ. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me, Reverend Dupree. I appreciate being on the show. I appreciate being a part of the Community Development Corporation at Greater Universal Baptist Church, and also being able to have an opportunity to minister there as well. So it's been quite a pleasure.
You have made your impression, your strength felt in the life of our church, and we truly appreciate your presence at Greater Universal. But let's learn a little bit about who this Gary Alexander Byrd is so that we can distinguish you from the other Gary Byrd.
The other Gary Byrd. Usually it's the other way around. I'm the other Gary Byrd because he's been on the radio for so long as Imhotep Gary Byrd. But no, I'm not him. I'm not related to him. But I have the pleasure of having a name sake, so to speak. So it's been great. Praise
God. So that caused you any confusion at any time?
Only with you.
Let's talk about who you are. Let's help our community to know our new Vice President. Gary Byrd, tell us a little bit about your background.
So my background, I started out, I graduated with a BA from Howard University. And I basically started out with CBS News. Stayed there for approximately 8 years or so. Worked for PepsiCo for a number of years as a manager. Great experience and where I learned business. That was my main goal, was to get a background and some experience with P&L, cash flow. And so I had an opportunity to learn my craft, so to speak, at the ground level with PepsiCo. And then from there, I worked for a small business administrative funding organization. It was called a One-Stop Capital Shop. That was started by President Clinton under President Clinton back sometime, I think it was back in the mid-'80s or so. And so I was there for about 8 years, and I got the opportunity to work with a number of businesses in the way of business planning, financing, capital formation, strategic planning, P&L, cash flow. And with that, I organized a number of training opportunities and also partnered with a number of businesses in order to bring opportunities to the black community as a whole.
Very, very good. I understand that you also did some work with Allen AME.
Yeah, well, funded from Reverend Dr. Floyd Flake's church. And so we would have annually a business expo conference at that church, matter of fact. So we got the opportunity again to expose business and economic opportunities to the local businesses, and also supported by various organizations in terms of nonprofits as well.
Okay, so you've been influenced by a number of churches that have been involved in community work.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's a number, but I've got some background in it, so obviously it was an easy fit when I came over to Greater Universal Baptist Church.
All right, well, how do you feel, first of all, about being appointed to vice president, to the role of vice president of our Community Development Corporation?
Well, obviously, anytime you get an opportunity to work with any organization such as the CDC, I mean, it comes with a number of challenges, it comes with a number of opportunities, and it comes with the opportunity where you can obviously influence a community that's been underserved. I mean, Greater Universal Baptist Church is in the South Bronx, and it has its challenges and it has a number of opportunities. And one of the opportunities is educating entrepreneurs, and you had an example there where you had revamped the audio system at the church, and then we talked about having those individuals that are talented within our community, but they have to get incorporated, they have to have licenses, they have to be certified.
Number of people in our community that's very much skilled, but they not certified to do the skilled work that they are able to do.
Exactly. And
so
that's
we want to get them. Go ahead.
And no, that's where the entrepreneurship training comes in, because we can obviously get them ready and give them insight in how to become a successful business, not just in terms of in their craft, but actually on paper in terms of how to turn a profit, how to determine where they're at in the business cycle. So it's very important for any business, whether it be black, white, or any business, to know, have some kind of business acumen. They have, the skills.
That's going to be some of the new direction for the Greater Universal Community Development Corporation for helping people to really be able to be more professional.
Yes. Yes, to be more professional, to be able to qualify for grants, to qualify for procurement opportunities, because you have to have those things in place in terms of incorporation, in terms of licensing, in terms of MWBE, Minority Women in Business Enterprise certification. You have to have all those things. And so what we lack is, that's why we're not given the opportunity, because we're not totally prepared to meet the challenge.
You say we.
When I say we as business owners and minority business owners, exactly.
You talked about the challenges that are ahead. Can you tell me, let's talk out loud about some of the challenges that you see in working in the Bronx community, because I know you're from Manhattan, basically.
Well, I live in Harlem.
Oh, you do live in Harlem.
I live in Harlem.
But now you're in the boogie down Bronx.
But I was originally born in the Bronx, so I'm not too far away from home.
Okay.
And seemingly, I've come full circle. So
well, what are some of the challenges?
Well, you know, some of the challenges are just working in an area that needs. It's not really a challenge. It's actually to fulfill a need, because there's a need for knowledge is power. Right. So anytime we can provide anyone with the type of knowledge that they need in order to be successful, you're going to draw a large audience. And so therefore, it is a challenge. It can be challenging because you have to educate people.
Yeah, that's new for a lot of people.
It's new for a lot of, exactly. It's new for them to understand that, you got to go outside of your comfort zone in order to learn some new things, in order to become the best person that you can be, so you can be successful. So but I think people welcome education.
Okay,
especially,
I think so.
Especially education that's not going to cost them an arm and a leg. And as you know, one of the things that we're moving on is this collaboration with McDonald's. And so,
all right, well, we want to hold on that, because I want to talk about some of the other dreams that we have in terms of partnerships, and then we'll focus on that McDonald's initiative that we're working on now. I'm excited about this McDonald's initiative, and I do want you to share with our audience some of the things that we hope and how they could get involved in this endeavor.
Right.
Well, talk about some of the dreams that we have, if you will. Let's brainstorm for a few minutes.
Well, some of the things that we talked about in the past, as you well know, we have that Omni building that's coming up as a residential.
Right. We got a Field of Dreams right across the street from the church.
A residential tower.
15
story,
yeah.
15-story building. I think it's going to be over 2,000 apartments. And I think that it's going to be great for our community. I might be off about the number of apartments,
Okay.
but it's going to be a great opportunity not only for the residents of the South Bronx to have that building there, but it may be an opportunity for us to provide space for us in order to do.
That's a dream. That's a dream right now.
Yeah, we can do that, and hopefully we can have a business resource center.
Yeah, hopefully. That's my hope too. One day to have a facility where we could run all of our social programs out of that particular facility. Our soup kitchen, our clothing distribution program, and other programs that we might create. Youth programs. I even see a senior citizens program run through that facility. So that's one dream that we are definitely praying for and hoping that God will open up that door for us. What are some of the other things that you see us doing in the future?
Well, like I said, Alpha will be doing some partnership with some of the other businesses in the area.
Like Sobro?
Like Sobro. And what they've basically done a lot of programs in terms of economic development, in terms of business planning and entrepreneurship. So we plan on partnering with them, and we've had some of our conversations with them as well. So we look to extend that to bring our services in conjunction with what they're doing. Partnering with Hostos College as well, as we've been talking about providing space, classroom space.
Right. As you know, I'm a professor there myself.
Yes. So things seem to be coming together slowly. We've also Fine Fair Supermarket that's right on the corner of the church. We partner with them as well for another activities in terms of Community Day, which is an ongoing process and we do every year.
Right.
So
I think we need to put a pin there and say that Fine Fair supermarket on the corner where the church is very, very much a part of our Community Development Corporation.
Yes.
Mr. Frank Pimentel, who is the proprietor of that particular institution or that store, is on our Community Development Corporation board, and he's currently building another Fine Fair supermarket on 149th Street.
Yes. So a lot of opportunities, and what we want to do in the long run, and this will be part of that McDonald's initiative that we've been talking about as well, is to train individuals, hopefully provide them an opportunity with some of these partners that we have in terms of retail.
Okay.
And Frank, obviously, Pimentel and Fine Fair would be part of that program.
Okay.
So they would not just be left with the training, but also we can funnel them into some opportunities as well. Okay. Obviously, we can't guarantee anybody success because success is something that comes from hard work, determination, and also education. So hopefully we can provide them a vehicle in which they can use in order to do that.
Okay. Well, before we focus on McDonald's, and I do want to come back to that because I also want to talk about their program, the Arch program that they have, the training program, and how we're going to connect with that. But we also have some relations with the local police department.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Well, we had them come in and talk to us about the needs of the policing in the community, as far as talking to the residents, going into the various projects or residents within our community and talking to the local residents in order to get a feel what is actually needed and have a better relation in terms of police presence in a positive way, not one that's been seemingly been plaguing the community as seeing the police as being a negative force, but turning that into something positive, something real. We're going to have them come in, and I think we had a discussion, talked about them being the talented 10th, where they're more than just police officers, but they can come in with some of the other skills and talents that can help young kids and youth to see that police are just not here to police, but to provide support, provide opportunity, and to offer some other skills that they may have. It may be in the area of art, it may be in the area of music, there's so many areas in which police officers have other talents
Right.
that they can bring towards our community.
So this will help us to see another side of the police officer then.
Yes,
Yeah.
and their impact that can impact the community in a positive way.
Right. Well, I'd be remiss if I did not speak of another member on our Community Development Corporation
Yes.
who is very much involved. In fact, he's a chaplain with the police in our area, and that is the Reverend Dr. Lauren Russell.
Yes.
And we thank God for his involvement, for he has really done some wonderful things for our board as well. And so we thank you, Reverend Russell. I want you to know we're giving you your props. And we couldn't do a lot of this stuff without you. And so let's...
and let me just add, Reverend Russell's been a
Okay.
great friend and a great mentor and given me a lot of opportunities where we were able to work together, brainstorm together, and work this program through in terms of just not from an idea, but to put it on paper and then to implement it. From the beginning to the end, Reverend Russell's been there.
Yeah.
And so I applaud him for all the things that he's done with me and for me. So he's very, very much appreciated.
So you can see that we have some dynamic people on our Community Development Corporation board, and we are doing some great things. In fact, one of the things that we have on our agenda to start in January of 2016 is the reopening of our soup kitchen. Now, that's something that people have been asking of us about for years since we had to close down our current soup kitchen because we had some violations in our kitchen. But the good news is, and we thank God, we have corrected those violations and we're ready to open up our soup kitchen again, and we're slated for January 2016. Help us to put the word out. Greater Universal will be reopening its soup kitchen. You want to say anything about that?
I could just add on the fact that it's, again, an opportunity to serve the community. It's an opportunity to impact those that have gone hungry. And specifically within that South Bronx vicinity, it'll definitely change things and be an impact and appreciated by all those that take part. And also, it's run by members of the church, not just the CDC itself, but it's run by the members of the church, and they have a passion to do God's work. So I take my hat off to them as well. They are going to be supplying the food and preparing it and getting it out on a timely basis. So that in itself, from an organizational standpoint, it'll be a change, a game changer.
Well, again, I want to say thank you to Miss Leonard, Elaine Leonard, who ran our soup kitchen so effectively down through the years, and it's been difficult to find somebody to fill her shoes. I'm sure the truth is we'll never fill her shoes, but the good news is that the First Lady, Loretta Dupree, Dr. Loretta Dupree, has stepped up to the plate, and she's going to be leading with our soup kitchen. And so we're looking forward to her leadership in that area as well. And also with our soup kitchen, we're going to reestablish our clothing distribution program. And we're hoping that we'll be able to meet some of the needs of the people in our community that need good quality clothing. Again, we're talking about the church impacting the community, and we're doing all we can. And so our hope is that we will inspire other church and church leaders to get more committed to reaching out and touching and impacting their community as well. Now, let's focus on the McDonald's project. Since it's such a big project, we've been meeting recently, very intently with the executives from the McDonald's Corporation, and let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's been a great opportunity for Greater Universal to get involved with McDonald's on this project, as it has been actually more or less been organized by Dr. Reverend Lauren Russell. So he's been at the forefront of it, but in our support of him, it's been very critical because we've been able to we're going to be able to do some of that training. We're going to be able to do some of that entrepreneurship in terms of, like I said before, business planning, strategic planning, and getting people ready in terms of licensing, incorporating. And even if they don't go through our program, and perhaps they are not either picked up by McDonald's or be involved in their Archway management training program, that they will still have those skills, and they can be, again, applied to any business. It's not just within the retail business or fast food business, but it's also can apply to a number of partners that we're working with as well.
Can you talk a little, Gary, about some of the curriculum things that we're going to be adding in the curriculum?
Well, some of the curriculum is basically going to go with some basic stuff, but I think depending on where they're at in their business, because it's going to be business 101, and one of the first things you want to start with is business planning. Is to know where you're going.
Writing a business plan?
Writing a business plan, how to write a business plan, how to get your ideas from your head onto the paper. Because many people have a lot of ideas, but they can never really make it manifest because they can't write it down. So we want to get them to be able to write and not provide guides for them to write, and to order to, like I said, take that vision and put it on paper. As the scriptures say, make your vision plain. So we write it down and make it plain. So we want to do that. We want to also get them involved in how to determine to get it to making a profit, and that's through profit and loss and cash flow and those kind of things.
A lot of people don't understand financial statements today.
Exactly. So we want to get them up and running on some of the basic things that they'll need to know in terms of just how to make money.
Right.
And once you make money, how do you draw that down to the bottom line after your expenses? So these are some of the basic things that we'll be going through. Also, we may be talking about, depending on the type of business they may have, how to get certified with the city, how to get minority certified, women-owned certified businesses. And so we'll be working with a number of people. So it's just not people that want to get an opportunity to be in a management position
That was
with
my
McDonald's,
next question for you.
but it's going to be an opportunity for them to expand into their own expertise or area of business that they can do as entrepreneurs.
What about those that may not have any business experience at all? Can they get involved in that program?
Sure, but the thing is that if they have a vision, hopefully they have a vision for a business or idea that they want to be entrepreneur, then yeah, we'll have an opportunity for them as well. It's just to plant the seed, and then it'll be up to them, and also working with us in order to afford them a possible opportunity. Like I said, no one can guarantee anyone's success, but we can at least put you on the path to where that leads to some opportunities.
All right. Now, again, I know that these are all business-related activities that we're talking about impacting the community, but there are other community-type things that we need to be concerned about as a church and as a community development corporation. What are some of those things that you feel that we need to be addressing in the community today?
Well, I just think that not only just our community as a whole, but there's homelessness, there's hunger, there's variety of social issues. There's people that are undocumented and that need work, but don't know how to transcend.
How does churches help people with that kind of those undocumented?
I think even if we can't do it ourselves, but we can provide them be a referral service and resource of opportunities for them. I think that, again, it's about network building and having a network. So if I can't help you, I know the people or person that can. So you may not have all the answers. You may not have all the meet all the challenges of that particular individual or community, but at least you know what's out there. And that's why working with people like Sober, working with people like some of these other organizations, social service organizations, they can lead you down to other opportunities.
This is why partnering with other organizations is so important, because the truth is no one organization can do it all.
Exactly.
And so we have to kind of pick and choose those that we want to partner with to have the greater impact on our community.
I think what's making this situation so great is that we've decided that our core service is going to be entrepreneurship. Our core services is going to be possibly the soup program, the clothing distribution. And then working with partners like Fine Fair and McDonald's and some of the other organizations and companies out there to make it a holistic approach to meeting the needs of the community.
Yeah, I know that we're hoping that our connection with these various organizations will get us even involved with some other organizations. But we have also a annual event that we do in the summertime to really impact the community, and we call that our Community Outreach Day, and that's been going very, very well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I got some exposure last summer. That was actually my first one, but I planned it 6 months with you. So we got the opportunity to organize those businesses and to go do the outreach. I literally went door to door to some of them to make sure that we were going to get that participation.
Right.
And so we
had a good turnout too.
We had a good turnout, from what I understand, because like I said, it was my first one. So, but I think it was all deemed it was a success, and we had some opportunities for the kids to receive. Whether it be food, clothing, and for families as well. So it was a great day all the way around. Hopefully next year we'll make it twice as good.
Yeah, well, again, I know that we met some needs, and the children had a lot of fun, and we had some great fellowship with the people in the community. And I do think that we are doing our part to impact our community. And again, I'm delighted to have you as a part of our team, and we're really looking forward to doing greater things now that you are involved. And tell our viewing audience how they can perhaps support some of the things that we're doing and how we can connect them.
I think many times, unfortunately, communities are stand by to wait and see what happens. Well, don't wait to see what happens. Sometimes you got to just allow things and make things happen. And one of those things you can do is obviously getting in touch with the CDC, getting in touch with Greater Universal Baptist Church, and become part of the scene, become part of the action. And a lot of the stuff that we're talking about is on the ground level. It's on the ground floor. And we need as much help, as many volunteers as possible. So just come out and support. And if you come out and support, and I'm not even talking about dollars. I'm just talking about your personal self, your presence, and making an impact, because because we're all here not to be served, but to serve. So let us all serve for the greater good, so we could uplift not only the people, but uplift the community as a whole.
Well, that should do it. Reverend Minister Byrd, I'm about to make you Reverend, but I know you're going to be ordained soon, too. We're looking forward to that day. But I want to say thank you for finding the time to come and be a part of our broadcast here today. And I believe somebody out there has been touched and encouraged, and somebody's going to get more involved in what we're trying to do in our local community. But wherever you are, it is your responsibility to do your part to impact your community. Again, we thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Amen.
And we're looking forward to great work together. God bless you.
God bless you.
And join us next time for another segment of the Pastor's Masterclass at Greater Universal Baptist Church. God bless.
Hello, friends. This is Councilmember Vanessa Gibson of the 16th District in the Bronx, and I am here at Community Outreach Day hosted by Greater Universal Baptist Church with Reverend Dr. Dupree and First Lady Dupree and all the community residents at Greater Universal.